All right, this is Module 4, Lesson 2. We're going to be talking about changing between fractions, decimals, and percents again. So you are about to switch out your books from your locker during passing period, but forgot the order of your locker combination. You know there are three numbers, 3, 16, and 21 in some order. So what is the percent of locker combinations that start with 3? So here are all the locker combinations. They already give us that. So let's circle all the combinations that start with 3. So here's one. And here's one. So how many is that? Well, in order to get the percentage, you have to get the fraction first. So the fraction of lockers that start with a 3 would be 2 out of, how many different combinations are there? Let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 out of 6 start with a 3. Now that reduces to 1/3. All right, so we have 1/3 of the locker combinations. Now to get the percent, you have to actually get the decimal first. So the decimal, you simply get by dividing. So I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to do 1 divided by 3, and it gives us 0.3 repeating. You use bar notation to show that it's repeating. Now from there, we can get the percent. Now remember the rules to getting a percent is moving the decimal place over twice. Now I'm going to extend this a little bit. It's a little bit easier to move the decimal place when you have lots of 3s. So I'm going to just extend that because that's what 3 repeating means. So to move it over twice, I'm going to go 1, 2. So this is 33.3. Now the 3 starts repeating again. So it's 33.3 repeating percent. Notice how the bar notation is after the decimal. You can never put bar notation before a decimal. It always has to be after the decimal point. So that's why I extended it so I could move it. All right, so to answer the question, my percentage is 33.3 repeating percent. All right, example 1. All of the 3-letter passwords that can be formed using the letters A and B are as follows. So here's your whole all the different choices. What percent of passwords contain at least 2 B's? So let's count it up. Does this contain at least 2 B's? No. 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 Here's 1. No. Here's 2, 3, and 4. At least 2 means 2 or more. So I've made 4 check marks out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 combinations. 4 out of 8 reduces to 1/2. So that's your fraction. 1/2, you're just going to divide it to get 0.5. That's your decimal. Now move it over twice. That's 50%. So your answer is 50%, but you actually have to go through every step to get there. All right, what percent of passwords contains no A's? So if I count, no A's would be just the 1. So 1 out of 8. So 1 divided by 8 gives me 0.125. Move it over twice, which is 12.5%. So 12.5% of all these combinations have no A's. All right. So the next part are exercises. I'm going to read through number 1 with you, and then I'm going to let you try these on your own. So it says, how many 4-letter passwords can be formed using the letters A and B? So this one's a tough one. It wants you to come up with all the 4-letter passwords using A and B. So for example, you could have a 4-letter password, A, all 4 A's. You could have a 4-letter password that is B. I want you to come up with all of the 4-letter passwords. So hit pause, come up with all of them, and then when you're done, check them with my answers. Make sure that you have all of the passwords. All right, so hit pause now. All right, this does take a while, and it does actually to come up with all of them. All right, I'm missing one. And you're probably sitting here saying, I know which one you are missing. Oh, here it is. BBAB. All right, so now I should have 16 total. Just make sure you have 16 on your page. That's actually the hardest part, is coming up with all 16 of them. Now, part 2 is pretty easy. It's just what we were doing before, coming up with the percent, but first finding the fraction, then the decimal, and then the percentage. So number 2, I want no A's. So count up how many have no A's. That would only be the BBBB. So that would be 1 out of 16. So I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to do 1 divided by 16, which is 0.0625. And remember, move it over twice, 6.25%. I want you to finish the rest of this page on your own and then hit play when you're done. Check those answers. All right, exactly 1A is 4 out of 16. There's 4 of them have 1A. 4 divided by 16 is 0.25, which is 25%. Exactly 2 A's. Count them up. How many have 2 A's? That would be 6 out of 16, which is 0.375. Move it over twice, 37.5%. Exactly 3 A's. Count them up. How many have exactly 3 A's? There are 4 out of 16, which is 1/4. We know that's 0.25 or 25%. Exactly 4 A's. There's only one that has exactly 4 A's, which is 0.0625 or 6.25%. How many have the same numbers of A's and B's? So that would be 2 and 2. So there are 6 out of 16. That reduces to 3/8. So 3/8 is 0.375 or 37.5%. All right, last page. In a set of 3-letter passwords, 40% of the passwords contain letter B and 2 of another letter. Which of the sets below meets that criteria? So we're looking for which one is 40% that has 1 B and 2 other letters. So let's do step 1. This has 3 B's, so that's not meeting the criteria. 1 B, 2 other letters. That's 2 B's. 1 B, 2 other letters. And that's 2 of another letter. So that's talking about 2 of the same letter. 1 B, 2 of the same letters. 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 All right, so we're talking about 6 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. So 6 out of 15 is 0.4, which is the same thing as 40%. So set 1 does meet that criteria. Let's look at set 2. All right, so B and 2 other letters, B and 2 other letters, B and 2 other letters. B, 2 other letters. I think that's it. So this is 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 4 out of 10 is 0.4, which is 40%. So they both meet that criteria. Because they are both 40%. 6 out of 15 is the same thing as 4 out of 10. So they both are 40%. All right, I'm going to have you try the homework tonight, and we will go over that problem set tomorrow. Good luck.